North Korea warns China of dire consequences. Chinese President Xi Jinping has just returned from a successful visit to US. He has also witnessed the launching of second aircraft carrier of China and was savoring the success of his aggressive policy in South China Sea region after the ASEAN countries dropped the idea of censoring China for its militarization of South China Sea when North Korea, China's protege since the 1950s, has jolted it to look vulnerable by its warning that it will never beg for the maintenance of friendship and that China should desist from preaching it to give up its nuclear and missile program, which is very precarious for its very existence. Needless to say, it puts China in a terrible quandary. There are two rogue countries in the world, namely North Korea and Pakistan, and both are fully backed to the hilt by China. China Patriarch Mao Zedong described North Korea's relationship with China as close as lips and teeth. However, with the current growing tensions on North Korea's nuclear and missile program, in which China has a big say now, North Korea has bared those teeth to China. Actually, China relations with North Korea have been on a downward graph for last 5 years. This despite the fact that in 50s more than 1 lakh Chinese troops fought for North Korea and thousands died, including son of Mao Zedong. The main problem being North Korea's determined bid to acquire nuclear and missile capability. Truth is that China does not want an unpredictable nuclear North Korea as its neighbor. When, due to obduracy of North Korea in not dismantling its nuclear program, UN imposed sanctions on it, China applied it to the fullest, keeping a lifeline open to North Korea. China is afraid that if there is implosion in hungry and isolated North Korea, which is its neighbor, then millions of refugees will land up on the Chinese mainland. Another reason for China to keep North Korea going is that it did not want its borders touching South Korea with NATO deployment. To ensure South Korea does not take any strong action against North Korea, China had cultivated South Korea favorable economic relations with South Korea. However, due to saber-rattling by North Korea, now South Korea has asked for US THAAD anti-missile system deployed. China has vehemently objected to it because it feels that the powerful radar system of THAAD will make China's own anti-missile system useless. In other words, China has now succeeded in annoying both North and South Korea. China has now told the world that North Korea is not listening to it, and China has no control over North Korea's missile and nuclear program. This is a dangerous situation. US knows that while both Japan and South Korea is within reach of North Korea's nuclear attack, it still does not have delivery means to reach the shores of US. However, US also knows that within 2 years North Korea will achieve it. So if it wants to militarily destroy North Korea's nuclear and missile capability, it has to do it now or within 2 years. In other words, situation is very tricky in Korean Peninsula. China must be made to be answerable to the world for promoting a rogue nation like North Korea and its ruler Jong-un. Hopefully China takes a lesson from this for Pakistan. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.